It is important to first state that there is no one answer to this that fits everyone's circumstances, and ultimately this is the challenge in this area of being prepared for the unexpected. Secondly, it is important not to overlook the so-called normal accidents in the hope of finding rare new threats or threats that are high profile but highly unlikely. Safe Work Australia has reviewed relevant incidents impacting on employee safety and to a lesser extent security, and have produced an interesting analysis of work-related injury fatalities. Just short of 35% of all work-related injury fatalities in 2013 related to a vehicle incident of some sort. This statistic is consistent with the American experience. The safety of Australian workers is then likely to be impacted in this order by being hit by falling objects, falls from heights, being hit by moving objects, rollover of non-road vehicles, being trapped by moving machinery, and contact with electricity. Knowing what we also now know, I would also add that there is a need to be aware of workplace environmental issues that may lead to a threat to the employee's feeling of well-being. This question can be answered quite easily in 2 words: risk assessment. Organisations should develop a framework whereby they dispassionately and before the travel consider the relevant risks that might occur in undertaking the travel. If the pendulum is on the side of proceeding, you do so knowledgeable and accepting of the risks involved. Without that risk assessment, what ends up happening is you place your safety and that of your colleagues into the fickle hands of guesswork, rumour and half-truths. That is never going to end well. As of now, the national terrorism threat level for Australia is probable. Credible intelligence assessed by our security agencies indicates that individuals or groups have developed both the intent and capability to conduct a terrorist attack in Australia. As context, there are 2 higher levels, expected and certain, and 2 lower levels, possible and not expected. Knowing that, however, does not necessarily fully answer the question. One needs to keep terrorism, as vile, destructive, frightening and sickening as it is, in statistical context. According to the ABS, more Australians died in tractor accidents in the 10 years to 2012 than terrorism in the 36 years from 1978. The greatest risk from terrorism may therefore be the change in our behaviours unnecessarily due to a perceived risk of terrorism being greater than what it is. All of this does not mean that terrorism should not be taken seriously and deserves the highest level of attention. Terrorism's disproportionate reverberations can and do have long-lasting economic, political and national security ramifications. In short, yes. But that does not mean that Australian companies cannot and are not doing more. This is where unions, employer groups, companies and individuals have a great responsibility. How can we embed into our organisations a non-incentive based continuous improvement cycle when it comes to occupational health and safety? We also need to be asking ourselves as to what constitutes mature and what lies beyond that.